never planned to stay up that late. That night was supposed to be simple, a normal night out. Nothing more. 5 of us, old friends, one empty house. That was the plan. One of my friends, Ethan, had his parents out of town for the weekend. No rules, no neighbors close enough to complain. Just loud music, drinks, and killing time until morning. We decided to start around 9 p.m. By the time everyone arrived, the mood was already light. Music playing, lights dimmed, laughter echoing through the house. For the first few hours, nothing stood out. We danced, ate junk food, drank way more than we should have. At some point, Ethan climbed onto a table and tried to show off. A backflip. He failed miserably and crashed onto the floor. We laughed hard, harder than we should have. Even he laughed, holding his side, pretending he wasn't hurt. That moment should have been the end of it, just another stupid memory. But around midnight, when the energy slowed, someone suggested a night drive. No destination, just driving. For reasons I still don't understand, everyone agreed. We got into the car and pulled out onto the road. The radio played quietly in the background. Late night talk, random jokes. At first, everything felt normal. Then the city thinned out. Streetlights disappeared one by one. Phone signals dropped. The roads turned narrow and unfamiliar. That's when we saw it. A building. Huge. Dark. Standing alone like it didn't belong there. No nearby houses, no parking lot lights, just the outline of concrete against the night sky. Someone joked that it looked abandoned. Another joked that it looked haunted. We laughed. Then we stopped the car. The front door was unlocked. Inside, the air smelled stale, like dust and damp concrete. Furniture was still there. Chairs knocked over. Papers scattered across the floor. It felt like people had left suddenly and never returned. As we moved deeper inside, the silence became uncomfortable. No wind, no insects, not even the hum of electricity. Then we noticed the elevator. The lights were on. Ethan pressed the button, expecting nothing to happen. After a few seconds, the doors opened. We looked at each other. The building had 5 floors. Without really discussing it, we went up. The elevator ride felt longer than it should have. No music, no sound, just the faint creak of cables. When the doors opened at the top floor, the hallway stretched endlessly ahead of us. Every door was closed. Every light was off, except one, flickering near the end. A wall clock hung above it. The time read 9 p.m. "That clock's broken," someone said. We laughed nervously and continued walking. That's when we realized something strange. Every room number ended in 9. Room 109, room 209, room 309. At the end of the hall, there was a stairwell leading up to the rooftop. We went up. The rooftop felt unreal. No city lights, no sound of traffic, just darkness in every direction. It felt like the world ended at the edge of that roof. We sat down, smoked, talked quietly. Then someone asked a simple question. "Where's Ethan?" We turned. He wasn't there. We assumed he went back inside. We called his name, no answer. We went back down. That's when the lights flickered. The hallway felt different, longer, colder. The clock still read 9 p.m. We found Ethan standing near one of the doors, facing the wall, not moving. I walked up behind him and put a hand on his shoulder. "Hey, you okay?" He turned slowly. His face looked empty, like he'd just woken up. He asked us why we were late. We told him he'd been missing for 15 minutes. He shook his head. "I never went up with you," he said. We laughed at first. Then we realized he wasn't joking. He showed us his phone. Timestamp, 9 p.m. Missed calls from us, dozens of them. But the time never changed. That's when the clock started ticking again. 9:01 p.m. The lights went out. Complete darkness. We ran down the stairs, through hallways that didn't make sense, doors that weren't there before, rooms that led nowhere. At some point, I realized something terrifying. There were only 4 sets of footsteps. One of us was missing again. When we finally burst outside, gasping for air, we didn't speak. We just drove. No music, no jokes. We kept driving. None of us spoke. The radio stayed off. The silence felt heavier than fear. After a few minutes, guilt started sinking in. Ethan was still there. We had left him behind. No matter how scared we were, it didn't feel right. So instead of going back ourselves, we drove straight to the police station. We told them everything. About the building, about the elevator, about Ethan. They listened. A patrol car followed us back to the location. But when we reached the spot, there was nothing there. No building, no lights, no road, just empty land. The officers checked their maps. According to them, nothing had ever existed there. Ethan was reported missing. Days passed, then weeks, until one night, all four of us were together at one friend's house, trying to feel normal again. The doorbell rang. We froze. I walked to the door and opened it. Ethan was standing there. His eyes were completely white, and on his face, a terrifying smile.